Hey everybody, well, welcome back to our integrative marketing webinar. It's interesting. We've had some really cool conversations. Yesterday, I met with a group of digital marketers here in my area, and I'm going to start bringing them to be a part of these presentations. I know we dive in very heavily with more Facebook content in general, but what we're going to be doing over the course of the next few weeks and months is integrating other types of marketing for you, the small business owner. I think a lot of times we have a tendency to be one-dimensional, and we think our way is, it's our way or the highway. And the reality is there's a lot of different things you can do in marketing to generate revenue for you and for your company. And we are definitely one element of that. So I'm excited to be with you here today. You've got myself, and Mitch is on with us as well. This will be, just so you all know, this will actually be Mitch's last webinar with us in terms of being a presenter. Mitch is going to be moving on and kind of starting some new business ventures on his own. We are glad and thankful that Mitch has been with us for so many years, and excited for his next new venture. So you'll be missed, Mitch. Your expertise and knowledge will be missed here on the Integrative Marketing webinar. But it's always fun to take on a new venture and see what lies next. So you're welcome to reach out to Mitch, shoot him a quick email, send him a message, and tell him thanks for all the information. I know he's impacted a lot of different businesses over the course of the last few years that he's worked with us here at Strategic Social Partners. All right, let's dive in. So today we're going to talk about Facebook pixels and pixels in general, and I want to just cover the high-level elements of what pixels are. Now, Adrienne, our awesome staff, always comes up with these little marketunists, and we'll see if we can correlate this one. I'm not quite sure if we can, but anyway, we're going to talk about a high-level understanding of what Facebook pixels are, why do we use pixels, and why or where do you place those pixels? Where should you place those pixels to generate more business for you and for your company? So here we go. Marketunist.com has shared this little, I don't know if it's a joke or what are these things called? I don't remember what they used to be called. They used to be in newspaper magazines.
Comics.
Comics, that's what they're called. Okay, so the comics, it says, we're extending our master brand. Besides the Thin Mints, would you like to buy some term life insurance? That's just bad. That's bad. Now, Mitch, how does this even relate to pixels? Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it does, but what a great strategy for lead generation. You have these little girls.
You talk about the lead magnet, something completely out of the norm, Thin Mints, and all of a sudden they
like who doesn't open the door for the Girl Scouts? I mean, even if you're not going to buy their, because you got to talk to them, right?
Well, you know what's funny about this, Mitch? And you know what's funny about this? We've had a chance to work with some insurance agents, and isn't this the truth? This is kind of what they do. Like, you can win a vacation, and all of a sudden you're getting a phone call from an insurance agent.
Yeah, that's true sometimes.
Pretty funny. Now, let's correlate this to pixels. Pixels in general are tracking mechanisms, so maybe these Girl Scouts are out there surveying their audience. Maybe they're guessing that these potential buyers could be the same type of audience, right? And one of the cool things about pixels, here's the correlation. One of the cool things about Facebook pixels in general is it can help you build audiences. There we go, right?
And maybe, Ryan, maybe their little merit badges that they have on their thing, they have different buttons and GPS trackers, so they know, like, they go to each house, and then they say, this person is interested, or this person is not interested. They push the two buttons. That's how the Facebook pixel relates.
Hey, another way, they're surveying their audience, right?
Yeah.
They're surveying their audience. All right, so let's dive into pixels. Let's get into the basics of what in the world is a Facebook pixel, right? First and foremost, the power of, or what is a pixel? So a pixel, as it sounds, think about TVs, right? There's millions of little pixels in a TV screen that make up the image of a show or whatever is being translated. I always think about, when I think of pixels, Mitch, for some reason my mind goes back to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. In the old 1980s version where they transport that kid across the screen, and he goes from being a big person to a little person. They have a hard time transferring him back. But as those little pixels are being transferred across one to the next, there's information and data that's being drawn from that to shrink him down. I think that's a lot of things. In my mind, I think pixels, I think of that. But a pixel, think of this in the most layman's terms, it's a tracking mechanism that gives you the ability to determine who's paying attention to your content, and then pull a ton of information from that tracking to give you the ability as a business owner, small, medium, and large business owner, the ability to create more success for your business. So I'll repeat that. It's a tracking mechanism. It's a code that you can place on your, think of it from a learning perspective. It's a learning code that they install on a website or any landing page or different things that you're trying to learn from in the digital space, that gives you the ability to understand who's learning from what you're doing and how they're doing, what type of online activity they're portraying to the masses, to give you a better feel of how to create long-term success for you and for your company by reaching target demographic and understanding the message that goes into that. So that, in my estimation, best estimation, is the definition of a pixel. Mitch, would you add anything there?
I was just going to add a couple common questions that we get. Well, one is a common question we get, and the other is a common misconception that I think is out there. It's an assumption, though. First one is, how is this similar to Google Analytics? And so I would just say they're similar in the fact that it does pass data back to a system. Google Analytics gives you a lot more detail about the types of people that are on your site, but the Facebook Pixel allows you to aggregate those people with Facebook. And the Facebook Pixel passes the data back to Facebook.
Yeah.
Google Analytics passes the data back to Google. And so you're going to want both.
Yes.
And then another common misconception is, if you're not doing Facebook ads currently, should you have the Facebook Pixel installed on your website? And the answer is absolutely yes. Some of the fastest success we've had, we create success for our clients, right? But it dramatically speeds up the process of success if the Facebook Pixel has already been collecting data on your site, whether or not you're doing Facebook ads, because it collects data either way, and it passes that data to Facebook. And so if let's say you're just starting out, you're doing just grassroots, getting people to your website. You're talking to people one at a time and telling them to go to your website. As simple as that. You still want the Facebook Pixel on because it can learn about those people. Facebook can learn about those people. Or maybe you're doing SEO. Maybe you've had a long time business, so you rank really high on Google already. You absolutely want the Facebook Pixel on, because when it comes time that you're ready to start Facebook ads, you are going to be so much farther ahead.
Yeah. And it's so interesting to me. I've seen, we come across landing pages of customers, potential customers, just websites we look at, and we notice that there are a lot of companies, small, medium, and large companies, that don't have the Facebook Pixel placed, that have hundreds of thousands of followers, sometimes visitors to their page in a month, sometimes tens of thousands of visitors in a month, and they're just not capitalizing on the data that's there. So as a business owner, we highly recommend, the number one thing you have to do in order to create good amounts of success is get that Facebook Pixel placed. And quite honestly, it's not that hard to do it. If you have a web administrator, just reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I want to make sure we install the Facebook Pixel. As a matter of fact, Mitch, I think what we're going to do for our followers is we're going to create a little tutorial video of how to place the pixel. We actually may even have that, don't we?
We have it for at least one type of website.
Yeah, so what we'll do is,
for every site, but it is to install the base pixel code, it's very easy.
Yeah, so especially if you have a WordPress account, because you can go in and use a Facebook Pixel plugin. And then what you can do is you can take the number, your Facebook Pixel number, and you type the number into your plugin inside of WordPress. and voila, it's done.
Yeah, a lot of systems are getting that way.
Yeah.
Another thing I just want to add here while talking about your website administrator. If you're thinking about getting a new website built, then the first question you should ask them, can you install the Facebook pixel on this website? And if they say no, don't work with them. We had a client that they couldn't install the Facebook pixel. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, who does that?
Yeah. Yeah. And as kind of as a side note to that, we always prefer to work with WordPress. It's just an open source and it's so user friendly. If you're paying someone to do custom development on your simple landing page in a system that's not common, then you're going to spend 2 to 3 times more money in fixes than if you just do it yourself inside of a WordPress account where you can just simply go in and make some of those changes. So those are a couple things that I know we're kind of distracting from the topic of pixels, but I think those are extremely important to know when it comes to creating or talking about the pixel and creating a website that you can drive traffic to. Now, the other thing that I would highly suggest when it comes to pixels, if you'd like to figure out whether or not you yourself, your pixels are working, or if, in general, if other websites have a pixel placed, one thing I suggest is I'm going to show you here on the screen how to do it really quick. If you go into More Tools and you go into Extensions, I'm going to show you inside of my extensions, obviously, I have it installed already. So if you look at this Facebook Pixel Helper, that's installed already. And what happens inside of Facebook Pixel Helper is I can go into our page, for instance, I am webinars, where people are coming to look to see if they want to be part of our webinar system. And right here, this little box is a Facebook Pixel Helper, and it shows me the information that specific website, which is our webinars, is trying to pull. And then it can show me page views and it can show me microdata automatically detected. I can go to a lot of different websites. Like, for instance, we could go to Walmart.com. I'm assuming they have a Facebook Pixel place.
I've gone to some big companies before and they don't have it.
It shows you the lack of preparation, but I'm assuming Walmart does. Maybe they don't.
I would think they do.
Oh, there it is. Popped up. Now, that goes into, so you have Facebook pixels, you have view categories, you have page views. Now, that goes into the second element of why. Why do we have Facebook pixels? And we talked a little bit about that here just a minute ago, but let me bring this back to present. One of the main reasons you have that is so you can leverage the tracking mechanisms from a remarketing and retargeting ad campaign perspective. So what does that mean? Well, that just basically means that if I want, and you've all had this experience, you've gone to Amazon, for instance, and you've placed something inside of the cart, and as soon as you checked out of or you went to the checkout of the cart, you decided, you know what, I'm just not going to buy that today. You go back to a social media platform, and what happens? Well, that product shows up in your feed of your Facebook account. Well, that right there, my friends, is the result of placing a pixel. Now, I guarantee here soon, well, let me just go back to Facebook and see if it actually pulled up yet. I can go back into Facebook now, and I'm going to see if I can see a, close out a couple windows here, sorry. I'll be able to see if Walmart is tracking that, what their remarketing ad campaigns are, and see if I get a Walmart advertisement back in my feed because I looked at their website. So again, and I even have it up here. So Facebook Pixel here. So think about the customer journey. The number one thing that helps define from a digital perspective more effectively the customer journey is the sheer fact of, okay, I'm going step one, that initial point of contact, whether that's a digital product, whether that's a conversation in person. You say, hey, go check out my website, whether it's a billboard that says go to our Facebook page or go to our website. They lead you to the actual website location. And on that website location, what you're finding is a pixel that's been placed, and as a result, that next step in the patient journey is, okay, what's the next touch point? And as we go through those touch points, right, if you've tracked what's happened on your website, then going back into a social platform, and this may not be the case right now, but going back into your website or your Facebook page, you will most likely see an ad product connected to the sites that you've been at. Recognizing, of course, and the reason behind that is because Facebook has the ability to instantaneously track, and then
Ryan, go to that Comfort Care Dental ad.
Okay. Right here.
Yeah. And click up in the top right on those three dots.
Yep.
And say,
why am I seeing this ad?
Yeah. And we'll see if it shows. I mean, we know why you're seeing it.
Sure.
But maybe this will be an example, because I don't know if Walmart's going to be that fast.
So any ad on your Facebook page, you can go in and ask why you're seeing the ad, and it'll give you a quick explanation. It'll even show you some of the targeting mechanisms connected to it. So one reason you're seeing this ad is that Comfort Care Dental wants to reach people who have visited their website or used one of their apps. This is based on customer information provided by Comfort Care Dental. There you go. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason, obviously, is you're seeing this ad, including Comfort Dental wants to reach people ages 18 and older who live near Idaho Falls. This information is based on your Facebook profile and where you've connected to the internet. Now, you can always go in and manage your preferences, but that being said, yeah, it's definitely one of those things that the pixel itself is established to create that. The other cool thing about pixels in general is it gives you the ability to learn. And the more time that your pixel is placed on your site, the more learning that you can gather from the ad product or the information that they're actually looking at, leveraging, and watching. Now, that's extremely important. Why is that important? Because then you don't have to guess. Like Mitch said earlier, a lot of times there's all these conversations about converting cold traffic. And if you listen to some of the top digital marketing experts out there, they say you need to build your list first. You need to build your audience first. And then that audience you can sell to, even if they don't know you very well. It's a lot easier to convert, warm to hot traffic than it is to convert cold traffic. And the pixel kind of programmatically helps you understand who those people are and where they come from. Mitch, any other thoughts you have specifically about the pixel?
I was just going to add on to what you said about warm traffic. The traffic that's on your website is some of the warmest traffic you can do. And then the other thing is Facebook can learn about the people that go to your site most commonly. Because they're tracked back to Facebook, Facebook knows a lot of characteristics about those people. And so they know those types of people. So then when you go to advertise, then they can find more people that are similar to the people that have already been to your site. So it takes out all the guesswork in all reality, almost all the guesswork.
Yeah. Yep. And, from an efficiency or effectiveness perspective, now your ads become that much more effective because you're speaking to your target demographic in a way that makes a really good connection with your target demo. So now where do you place them last? Everywhere. Everywhere you can possibly place your Facebook pixel will give you information that you can learn about from where that information is being placed. So no matter where you are, whether it's a website, whether it's a landing page, whether it's a button on your website, make sure, whether it's your thank you page, make sure you're placing those on every aspect of your funnel or your customer journey, so you can track and create extra levels of benefit as a result. Somebody is trying to jump in. Maybe. Anyway, so guys, that's what we have today for the Facebook Pixel. We're going to cut it off here a little bit short. Here's what you can do today. Head to your website. First and foremost, download that extension in Chrome to make sure you have this little Facebook Pixel helper. If you don't have that, install that on your Google Chrome extensions. And then secondly, check your website. If you're working with someone that's doing Facebook ads for you currently, make sure your website has pixels on it. As a matter of fact, Mitch, we used to work with a company here. I just want to look at something real quick. Here's a company that we used to work with. We were building a different funnel. I'm curious to see if they have the pixel placed on their site. Because they currently, and one thing that you have to be careful of, my friends, is there are people out there that claim they know what they're doing with social media, but they really don't know what they're doing. And this may be one of those cases. Let's see if the pixel is placed. I'm sure it possibly is. Yep, pixel's placed. So good. The number one thing, again, is to make sure you're tracking all the data that you possibly can. I could probably go to, I would say, Mitch, and maybe this is your experience as well, 7 to 8 out of 10 websites that I go to in a local market here in my local market do not have a Facebook pixel placed on their account. Is that a fair assessment, or do you see?
Yeah, that's probably very fair. I think as you get into larger companies like Walmart and stuff, they're going to hire digital marketers that are somewhat advanced and know how to do that types of things. But in local businesses, you're absolutely right. And this business here, it's on there because we told them to install it. We helped them install it.
We gave them a recommendation to track those pixels.
But it was not installed before we started.
Yeah. We will put together a guide or a video tutorial of how to do that. So if you want access to that, shoot us a quick email. You can send me an email, Ryan at Strategic Social Partners. You can shoot us a quick message on our Facebook page. I was going to say you can send Mitch a message, but he probably won't get it anyway. So you can send it to myself, or you can comment on this video here on YouTube, and we'll hook you up there as well. So thanks, everybody, for being with us today. And until next time, my friends, bye for now.